So we're just back at a job today that we've been to before, doing quite a large scale network installation. So you've seen the other videos of the first fix and second fix of the barn, and then there's the first fix of the main house. So we are right in the thick of Dartmoor. Because it's such a remote location, we've got no phone signal whatsoever, and then he's completely reliant on the Wi-Fi. But all you can get up here is BT, I think, is the fastest he can get. BT is the fastest you can get up here, and it's like 12 meg or something, and he's trying to run a business from up here as well. So he's very reliant on the internet up here for voice over IP. So you can use either the Wi-Fi calling on your phone, and also obviously your standard use of a computer that requires the internet connection as well. So he's heavily reliant on that here, and he's constantly got issues with the lines being battered by trees, wind and stuff like that. So he had 2 lines fitted in the house. In case one goes down, then he's got a spare one, but that's still not being that reliable. We're here fitting the Starlink today. Today I'll get the Starlink fitted, hopefully up and running, and then get it connected onto his existing network that we've already put in, and get it all functioning together as one system, and then all hopefully running on the Starlink. So to do this, because of it's very high access, it's very difficult, say, location to access with equipment anyway, I've had to hire a cherry picker today to be able to get up to the highest point of the chimney stack to be able to mount this Starlink. He's got no clear line of sight basically, and he doesn't want it fit on the roof because he's just had all the roof renewed, so he doesn't want it on the roof. That was the only other option of a completely clear space near enough where we need to get the cable entry into the house, because I wired a Cat 6A cable up to the loft space, or to one of the loft spaces. That was the best place that we could say, right, if we go for Starlink, you know, this is where we could probably put it. So I've got an Ethernet cable in a position that we need to get the Starlink router to. So it's a specific roof space that we have to use, and he doesn't want to use the roof, so we use the chimney. So like I say, I'll show you now the logistics of this. It's quite difficult and costly as well. So yeah, we'll just show you where we are and what we're gonna have to do. This was originally used as a farm, I think. So we've got to get a cherry picker all the way down here. So I think the truck's only going to be able to drop it off back where we were from the main road at the start of this track. So he's going to have to unload it off there, and then it's going to have to be driven all the way down here. Now, we could have had a piece of scaffolding put up, but the customer costed that against the hire of a cherry picker for a day, and it was cheaper to do the cherry picker than to get the scaffolding up. So he's gone with the cherry picker. And then we're getting round near the house now. So that chimney, the one with the render on right in front of us, that's the one we're going to have to get the Starlink. We've left a cable, an Ethernet cable, to connect onto the rest of the network that covers this entire area. We've got a 10-meter ladder, and that won't get up to the height, you know, safely that we need to. So that's why we're having to get a cherry picker for this. So we've got the antenna. This is a used one, a refurbished one that he's got for a cheaper price, but they still give you the same warranty cover on the antenna. So this is the antenna that he's got. We've got an Ethernet adapter which goes from the router and it gives us an Ethernet connection to plug my cable in that we put in previously in planning for this if it ever happened. We've got a long arm to get it away from the house, and then we've got, I can't remember how many foot this is measured in, but we got the longer cable which this is going to be running up the outside of the building, down along the loft, and then to the router inside. So I'm going to start installing this now. One of his routers is currently down. They always seem to be going through technology as well, so they get a lot of spikes here, obviously. So surge protection would be good for him, because he's blown through 7 in his period of being in a contract with them. So they've just replaced them. Now they're cheap shit routers anyway that companies give you. We always like installing our own router, but you know, it's free, isn't it? It comes with the kit, so most people use them. So outside the chimney, there's the Cat. That black cable there is the Cat 6 cable I installed last time, that goes down there and into the other part of the house where one of the network switches is. And then along that beam there, we extended the telephone line last time into the house, because it went all the way around the outside of the building, so that we brought it inside the house and took it all neatly through the same route, so it wasn't a mess outside. So that back wall down there is that chimney outside I showed you before, the tall chimney. That's where that is. In here we need to tap into some power somewhere, put a double socket, or just put a socket up here and plug the router in here. You don't really need to get to it normally, because you can reset it via the app on the phone. So it's not really something you normally have to get to, but if he does need to, he can just get access to the loft, and it's right here if we ever need to. So the big dog's here now. Big dog. So I can get up there. Top corner of that chimney. Oh, it's windy up here. Windy. Oh. So I'm going to drill my hole underneath here first. Underneath there. And then the cable's going to come through, and then I'm going to have to get this thing a lot higher to get the actual unit mounted. So I'm just going to do the hole first, get the bracket mounted. As you can see, we're in Dartmoor here, right in the thick of it, so this is why we're using Starlink. Okay, so it's fitted now. We had an issue with the supply bolts that came with it, so I fitted it yesterday, and then this just pulled off easily. So we've used some of these different anchor bolts instead. These are the business. I can swing on this now and it won't come off. So that's it fitted with the long bracket. We've done this obviously as high as I can get it, so it's not structural bad. Roof tiles or anything. Going down to under there. Can you see it moving? How much this is moving in the wind? If you don't like heights, this is not a good job, especially in the wind. So this is the router position. So we've added a socket up here, so we've got a power supply for the router. Just put this little piece of wood down just so it's got something to sit on. It's right next to the ladders, so it's easily accessible. So we've got the router there, you've got the Ethernet adapter, and then we've got the long cable that goes from the antenna. So yeah, it goes over there. I've left some slack at the bottom end, out the wall and up to the antenna, and it goes along that beam at the side there, and then it goes up and over and then down to this position here. So I'm just testing this now. So I've made the end off at both ends, and I've just put one of these little modules on, and then I'm going to plug in at the other end. It just lets me know the length of the cable, that the connections are correct before we start trying to power this up. Alright, so this is the current system that we've already set up. So you've got is the ones that are already labelled, basically external rear access point, front small workshop, long workshop, pantry access. So they're the ones we've already done before, and we've set this up, is UniFi network up and got it all functioning, programmed and labelled, etc. So these 4 now are the ones that are adding. So we've just logged in to the system. Now it's automatically recognises that we've added 4 access points. So we've got a new one for the holiday let, we've got an external access point, we've got the one on the landing, and then we've also got the one in the office. So that's all correct. It says adopting first, and then you've got this bar, which is basically, once it's adopted, it'll be updating software. There you go. So it's popping up on the top right now that which ones have updated the software. And then what we've got to do is we'll go around to each one. We can tap on the actual access point and then get it to flash the LED indicator on the front. So I've just edited this one. So we'll click on that, external access point. So I've called it external access point sunroom, which this room that we're in is, they call it the sunroom. Yeah, so you just, to change the name of that, we'll go into settings, and then there it'll say whatever the actual model of the product is, and then we can just change the actual name of the access point in there. So here's the one I'm making the assumption is UAP. Yeah, so we'll click on that, and then we'll settings, scroll down to the bottom, locate. So it says now it's locating. So there you go. So I've just come up here to add these 2 access points, and this part of the house has got no Wi-Fi signal at all, because again, the huge stone walls, and this point and that one through on the landing is going to be the access points from here. So I've just brought the iPad up here to connect, to identify them, and it just said, just brought it up here, then it said, oh, console offline. I'm like, what? And it's because it lost its internet connection up here while I was trying to set this up. So we've just identified the office, which is in here, up there. So I just locate. There you go. So that is now connected and running. So we've got a solid internet connection in. Oh, soon, not yet. It's getting ready still. I've managed to pick up on, if I put the laptop here, I can pick up on the one outside. That's how I've managed to get a signal here, just to add these to the system. Let's do this one while it's, there you go, office. So that one's on now. Let's have a look at this one. So we already know what it is, but locate. There you go. So the landing's just, there you go, it's finished now. Updating. So all labelled up, all identified, all connected and updated and functioning. So there's the antenna there. It's moved to a different position now. And the nearest node we've got is that one there. The nearest access point, sorry, is that white one on that door. $260 download and the upload speed's okay. So the new Starlink that we've just installed added onto the existing Ubiquiti installation that we've just installed.